All right. Hello, everyone. We're back for another week of exciting rehearsals. This week, we're talking all things end of the school year with our guest band director, Sebastian. We're also going to find out what made Trevor say,
even if it's just waving a pom-pom in the air or shaker in the air or noise maker when we're taking the field for pregame and halftime.
And what made Stephanie say,
I need you to get out of the car and come in. There's always something to do.
All this and more. So get out on the field, and we'll see you back on the sidelines for this week's episode of On a Water Break.
8 off the mat and go.
Welcome to On a Water Break, the podcast where we talk everything marching arts.
Everyone, bring it in. It's time for a water break.
All right. So welcome to another episode of Season 2 of On a Water Break, the podcast where we talk about everything you and your friends are talking about at rehearsal on a water break. I am Jack Goudreau. All right. So this week on a water break, we're wrapping up the school year and talking about preparations for summer and the next year ahead of us. But before we get to that, let's see who's on our sidelines this week. So Trevor, how's your school year been, man? What's been up?
My school year is great because it's over. The students were really great this year, and we had a really successful year, capped off by amazing performances overseas in Dublin, Ireland. The students had great concerts. Yeah, the students had great concerts. They finished strong with their final exam. So, I'm a happy college professor over here at Western Carolina University.
You're making memories, man. You're making memories for those kids. All right. Up next, we have Stephanie from Texas. So how's your summer beginning? I heard that you finally have an empty house. Both your kids are away at college, right? So what are you doing with your free time now?
Well, this weekend I am just binging shows on Netflix, but you're right. I have an empty house. I have both kids are off at drum corps. My husband is off at drum corps. So I have a mini camp next week with my own color guard, but it is definitely winding down. School is out, and I'm very happy.
Amen, right? All right. And Austin, so I heard you just got off of a really interesting interview talking about tour fees or about tour fees. How'd that interview go for you, man?
It was fantastic. I mean, it brought a lot of insight, and I aged out in 2019, but even since then, it's so much. There's so much more money involved in drum corps, especially on the tour fee side of things. Stephanie can definitely elaborate more on that since she has 2 kids marching. But I can only imagine how much she's paying right now. But every penny's worth it.
You don't want to know. You don't want to know.
The way I see it, every penny is worth it, but we got to find a way to make this a little more accessible.
Oh, absolutely. 100%. My mind goes to like scholarships and stuff like that. How can we expand scholarship opportunities for student leaders, right? All right. Yes. So now that everyone on the sideline's been accounted for, I want to introduce a good friend of mine, an excellent mentor who really helped start my journey in the area of high school drum majoring. He's also an amazing band director, teaching both concert band, field show, parade band. He does it all. Welcome to the show, Sebastian from Elk Grove High School.
Hello.
All right, man. It's great to see you. It's great to have you on here. So we sort of have a tradition on this podcast where we give our guest hosts 32 counts to explain their entire life, starting from where they went to high school, education, where they teach, what they're up to right now, right? We're going to give you 8 preparatory counts on the mat, and then you'll get your 32 counts. So are you ready?
Who's first?
You. It's going to be you. Let's do this. All right. Let's get those counts going.
Okay, so born in Philippines, went to Loga High School. In 93, I graduated. Then I went to Sac State, got my bachelor's credentials, admin credential. Now at Elk Grove High School, my 28th year. Taught middle school. Oh my gosh, this is scary. Taught elementary school. I love what I do. And I'm also the PBIS coordinator. I'm also in the admin team. Yeah.
All right, so
that was it.
Yeah, no, you did excellent. You did excellent. Mine was way worse, trust me. So I just want to hear from you. So given just the layout of your program, so what are you doing? Because I know you do a lot. I want the audience to hear just what's happening at Elk Grove High School.
We're going through a $4.4 million renovation and upgrades. And is that a new band room? No. So it's upgrades in the theater, upgrades in the music room. Yes.
Yeah, that's so much going on, and to be able to juggle prepping for next year, getting all the forms taken care of for students, checking in on admin. I mean, that just must be an absolute chore for you. And so, if I remember correctly, how many performance units do you have at Elk Grove?
I teach guitar ensemble, a vocal ensemble, two jazz bands, a wind ensemble and concert band that combines into one big marching band, and color guards within the wind ensemble area, but they have a coach with that. So it's a lot.
Yeah, it's a full set of things. So the fact that you're taking on this summer prep while also getting a full-on renovation, I mean, it's crazy. We'll dive into that more. But for right now, let's go check out the news. All right, so we're starting news today with Trevor. Trevor, what's up? Something's going on in Delaware.
In Delaware, the amazing Heidi Sarver is retiring after 29 years of leading the University of Delaware marching band. Congratulations, one of the best college bands in the nation. Ms. Sarver has been there, of course, for 29 years, since 1995. She's retiring at the end of the academic year. They have, hired her replacement, who is also a University of Delaware alumni, if I'm not mistaken. So they're keeping everything cohesive there. The band program, grew from 100 members to 300 members under her leadership. Just an outstanding unit. The band has performed all over the country. They've performed in the New Year's Day parade. They performed in Dublin, Ireland. They performed in Macy's. They've done all these amazing trips under the direction of Professor Sarver. I know she's going to be greatly missed. She brought a high level of professionalism, musicianship. She fostered leadership within the program, has inspired so many music educators throughout her almost 30-year tenure there at the University of Delaware. I know that the students adored her, and they showed her love all throughout this past season, marking her last season with the University of Delaware Marching Band. And thank you for your contributions to the profession, Professor Sarver, and best of luck to you and whatever you decide to do in your future endeavors.
All right. Yeah, no, what an awesome career and a legacy to leave at that school. All right. Going up with some DCI news from Austin. Austin, what's up?
DCI needs some volunteers from recent age outs. They're looking for some volunteers for World Championships in August. So if you aged out in 2021, 22, or 23 and are looking to help out putting on the big spectacular show that is World Championships, they need you. It's on DCI.org. They will take care of hotel accommodations, meals on setup, and event days in Indianapolis. They'll give you event credentials. They also give you the opportunity to meet and work with some personnel from DCI and some core personnel. And they give you the ability to view select number of shows. They give you an event shirt and then all training materials and information required. They'll take care of all of that for you. So if you're looking to get back in and check out World Championships and lend a hand and stay involved, this is definitely your opportunity. So check it out, dci.org. They need you to fill out the form by June 10th. So go check it out.
Yeah. What a way to give back. That would be an awesome way for people to give back and continue that art form going. Keep on pushing the younger younger kiddos through that motion. All right. Now we're going to Stephanie with a little bit of WGI. What's up with WGI?
Hey, so we have a new hire at WGI. His name is Dr. Will Frankenberger, and he's been hired as the Director of Participant Protection. And so I think all of us that are involved, all of us that are educators, always want our members protected. And I think WGI has always done a good job of this. But now this is an additional line with someone who is fully committed as their full-time role, their full-time job, to make this their priority. His first day is June 1st. He does have a marching arts background, which I think is really cool. So he knows what he's going into, kind of knows what to look for. But I'm trying not to read you this whole article here, but want to make sure I get my facts right here. He's going to handle everything: participant protection, which is reporting, incident inquiries, preventive education, which I think is absolutely huge. And then is also going to audit the systems that are already in place to make sure that they're right. His background includes fraternal organizations, collegiate athletics, and university systems. So he is more than qualified to take this on, and I'm really excited. Like I said, I think every one of us wants our performers to be safe, and I think this type of role absolutely makes sure that happens.
Yeah, and it's nice to see that WGI is being so proactive with this now, right? Because this is always sort of looming in the background. Now we kind of have it at the forefront of things, and we're going to be as proactive about who's in front of the kids, making sure that everyone's background checked, and making sure all our students are safe so that they can have the best experience possible, right?
Yes, 100%.
All right, and we're going to be finishing up today with Trevor discussing the historic Black marching bands. We'll be heading to Southern California for an annual show. Trevor, do you want to dive into that?
Absolutely, I'll dive in, and I just want to talk about these amazing 6 HBCU bands who'll be traveling to the West Coast, Best Coast, for the Honda Battle of the Bands. It's going to be held February 1st, 2025 at SoFi Stadium. Bringing the event to California for the first time. Make sure you grab those tickets. So it's going to be great. James Oliver, who's the director of bands at Alabama State, says, quote, "It's big for HBCU bands, not just for ASU, to get on this particular platform and to have that type of opportunity to, perform for these different types of audiences." So James Oliver at Alabama State is incredibly excited about this possibility. Also, another person who's excited about this is Yvette Hunsicker, who serves as the Vice President of Corporate Social Responsibility and Inclusion and Diversity at Honda, the sponsor of this event. She says, quote, "Supporting society is more of an ecosystem," end quote. And then she goes on to say, "You really have to get to the root cause to shift trajectories. We need to meet people where they are and give them the opportunity for different outcomes." Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. These audiences are in for a real treat. Honda has been an amazing sponsor of this event for years and years and years. I've been to several Battle of the Band competitions when they were hosted more in the South at Alabama State and Atlanta. This year, Honda pledged a $500,000 commitment to the HBCU Band Scholarship through its partnership with the Thurgood Marshall College Fund. So if you're in the Southern California area, February 1st, 2025, make sure you stop by and grab your tickets for the Honda Battle of the Bands and watch the amazing showcase of those amazing student performers.
And the HBCU sound, just the bands proper, I mean, they know how to play it. It's so good. It's so good, right? So if anyone's available, go check it out. Everyone needs to go check it out.
The best kind of entertainment. You have these marching bands at the football games, and when these HBCUs strike up the tunes, it's all about them, and nothing else matters. And those students really work hard to put on a high level of productions each and every week, and they deserve our support. So go check them out, February the 1st, 2025.
All right. So thank you, everyone, for sharing the news and all the hot tea in the marching band world. We're now going to throw it to our sponsors.
Hey, this is Christine Ream.
And Chris Green.
Guard Closet was founded as a consignment business in 2000. Since then, it has grown to include winter guard, band, percussion, and other genres.
We can help you with custom flag and costuming designs.
Our consignment inventory has plenty of great looks for your color guard, drumline, and marching band.
Pay it forward. When you purchase consignment, you help other programs. Last year, we sold over 400 sets of consignments and returned over $125,000 in payments to our consigners for their sales.
Additionally, Guard Closet offers custom and pre-designed costumes, flags, floors, and formal wear, full or partial show writing, educational programming, and other services.
Max out your rehearsal time and set up a microsite for easy student ordering for shoes, gloves, and other equipment.
The Guard Closet team is here to help you get everything you want and need for your season. Check us out at guardcloset.com and follow us on social media.
All right, so now that the temperature's getting nice and toasty outside, at least here on the West Coast, I don't know what it's like on the East Coast and South, we're finally here for summer. And as a marching arts instructor or anyone related to the administration for marching arts programs, we all know this might be time to just breathe a little bit. But actually, is it time to breathe? Or are the wheels already on the ground, right? So let's jump into this topic, everyone. So I need to start with my band directors first. Trevor and Mario, what have you been up to for summer prep already? I mean, like, have the wheels already hit the ground for you two?
Oh, yeah. Trevor, you go first.
Absolutely. The wheels are turning, Jack. First of all, it starts with inventory. We got to take stock of, like, everything that we've done, you know, the challenges that we met, the goals that we have met, right. You know, kind of make sure that we have everything kind of, you know, like a good end of the year wrap up, talking to the students, making sure they know the goals for next season. You know, we've done things like, you'll need to do things like picking a new leadership team.
Right.
That's a part of the wrap up. Yeah, got to pick that leadership team. Got to move forward. You have to do things like, you can plan end of the year celebration events, you know, for what your program has gone through for the entire fiscal year. If I'm thinking about like some administrative things, one of the things I'm doing is taking inventory of instruments, uniforms, music, making sure that everything's back in the place where it needs to be so we can do a good reset. Does that sound about right to you, Mario?
Yeah, so for me, it's a little bit similar, of course, but I wear 4 different hats. So the first hat is the band director, choir director hat. So I'm doing the same thing, inventory. I already have my leadership group going. We have bonding time with the leadership. I also have my booster program with my parents, which we've already met, and we have a new board that's going. But in California, Northern California, we're going through a thing called Prop 28, which is a big funding for $1 billion funding for the VAPA, Visual Performing Arts. So we're going through that and the inventory, how to support the arts in a whole program. That's one. We also have the LCAP funding, so that's another inventory that I'm doing, grants. And then my other hat would be my PBIS coordinator. That's the Positive Behavior Intervention Support System. So that's another kind of prep work, kind of like a band director for the whole school. So like the new theme, the new signs, that's done. I'm also the Northern California Band Association past president and drum major coordinator. So this June, we have our general session. So we're prepping for our new board that's coming up, working with the judges for NCBA. And then the last one is I run a summer camp leadership for MMDMA. That's called For Music, Movement, Determination, and Achievement. And I'm going to be touring 12 schools to teach 12 leadership and summer camps for band camps for them. So, but I do have a balance. I'm married 24 years now with my wife. So that's, we have vacation plans too. That's me. So that's my prep.
Okay, so for any of our listeners who just always thought that the band director was just the guy in front of the band conducting, this is evidence of how much our leaders are so freaking solid in front of that band. Beyond just the conducting, your band director at your high school is working 1,000,000 miles an hour nonstop, and it's an endless cycle. And that's, I mean, it's so much for what you feel doing, because you guys have done some awesome things for students and opened up access for students. And it's so exciting to see what you guys have planned for next year. I mean, you guys are juggling multiple things, but you guys are able to get it through every time. And I mean, it's absolutely awesome. So Austin and Stephanie, so from more of an instructional tech side of things, where are you at? So Stephanie, color guard wise, you were telling me that you just started a beginning camp with your students already. So how's that going?
It's good. We've been doing some sessions that were optional throughout the month of May, but then starting on Tuesday, from Tuesday through Friday, we have a camp where we'll put everybody together, all for the first time. We're auditioning for lines. So everybody together in the morning session. The afternoon session is one day is rifle line auditions. The next day is saber line auditions. I've got an advanced flag line. So just trying to get those numbers and lines set so that I can get those numbers to our drill writer. And then after that, throughout the summer, is really just planning when things have to be done. In Texas, we have a system called UIL. There's some pros and cons to UIL. I didn't grow up in Texas, so I moved into this UIL system. And so basically what it says is that after Labor Day, so into September, we can only practice as a marching band ensemble for 8 hours a week. We're capped. And so I grew up and taught in Kentucky and Tennessee, and we could bring those kids in whenever we wanted for however long we wanted until we got the job done. And in Texas, you can't do that. You're capped at 8. So I'll spend a lot of time this summer, especially after I see the kids all together this next week, really setting deadlines of, okay, by this date, we need to have the opener needs to be filled with choreography. And by this date, we have the second tune needs to be done. And then also hiring the techs and clinicians that'll come in and work with us, and the fall choreographers that will come in. So a lot of that is just planning and contracts and a lot of calendaring throughout the month of June and July for me.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's some fast paced planning that you're having to do with that 8-hour time window. That's
yes.
Crazy. But I mean, you're getting the job done. All right. So Austin, how are things looking on the Southeast in regards to the programs that you're working with? How's summer looking like for you?
Summer right now, at least the past couple weeks, have been pretty slow for me, and I've taken that liberty to take a break.
Good.
And everyone needs to find time for a break, regardless of who you are. That's my opinion. I talked about it on a recent episode. But for me now, it's really just making sure that my schedule is set. Like Stephanie was talking about hiring clinicians and techs and all that stuff. So like I'd be going out and talking to the directors that I'm going to be working for and being like, hey, when do you want me in? This is what my schedule looks like. I can come in X, Y, Z. And so just making sure that my calendar's set, making sure that flights are booked and accommodations are taken care of, and making sure contracts look correct and all that good stuff. That's the biggest thing, at least from the instructional side for me. And then just making sure you're staying in touch with those directors, so you're not like flying blind. Like I'm in. You don't need to absolutely be in like constant contact, but just check up every couple of weeks. Be like, hey, everything's still good. What are your plans for this time period? What are your plans for this time period? So that you can make appropriate lesson plans when you go in, and you can deliver your best product for the services that you're providing.
Absolutely. So we have such a large group of performers that actively listen to our show. I kind of want to throw this out to everyone. What's something that you want your performers to be preparing for during summer? Like there are many different things. Let's start with Trevor on this one. What's your ideal student doing over the summer?
We always want to make sure that they're taking care of themselves. So self-care, recharging battery is always a good idea. Vacation with your family, taking some time off. That's going to be essential for them to make sure that they're not, overworked. But it's like my dad always told me, you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So make sure that you continue to do some light workouts. Make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you continue to still eat in a somewhat healthy manner if you can. obviously, from the performance standpoint, each day that you're practicing, you're getting better. You're learning something about yourself. So whether it's on your instrument or doing drop spins or with practicing like your rudiments, continue to make sure that you're investing in yourself as a performer, and then that you're doing things daily or every couple of days from a performance standpoint. Staying ready for what those summer camps, those summer meetups, and eventually the beginning of the fall season has to offer for you. So that would be something that I would want my performers to do. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
And Mario, from your perspective, what do you want your performers to be locking in on in the summer? Ideal.
Of course, like family time, like Trevor says, the mental health part. Yeah, I want them to practice because we had spring clinics with our battery staff, our color guard staff, and a lot of my battery staff is touring drum corps, so they had a packet for them to get done. They had the field show packet, and John Fannin and Rosie Queen does a really good job with, oh my goodness, just the way they prep things. And I think it's Scott something Coder, I think. Yes.
Scott Coder.
Yes. Oh my gosh. They prep them really well. So we do both parade and field show. So after spring clinic, like we have the leadership's supposed to have like a bonding party or something different, a picnic or something, right? With those students, and then practice. But they need to come back. Learning movement 1, the color guard has their warm-up drills done. When we come back, it's challenge days for to become first, second chair. So that motivates them to keep going.
Thank you. Absolutely. And I mean, juggling things as an instructor as well too, Stephanie and Austin. So Stephanie, you were talking about the prep that you already have going, but what do you want to see your students really accomplish in these summer months besides just resting? Like, what do you want? Like, what type of progress do you want from them?
Yeah. Well, I want them to go on vacation. I want them to do things with their family, that kind of thing. Beyond that, our community is really diverse. We have a lot of international families. I never say no to a student that says, like, I'm going to be gone the first 3 days of band camp because we're going to Colombia to see my grandparents. We haven't seen them since COVID. Like, I'm never going to say no to that. But I also want you to do your dentist appointments. I want you to get your braces on, get your wisdom teeth out. I want you to do all of those things that like take some recovery time because I don't want to lose you during the season. So I want you to take those summer months. I want you to do that. And then I want you to hydrate and not sit on the couch. I want you to go to the pool. I want you to swim some laps. I want you to, so that especially in Texas with the heat, I want you to come back and I want you to be acclimated to the heat a little bit so that, your first day stepping out in the 104 degrees on the asphalt, we have asphalt practice field. I don't want July 29th to be the first time you've stepped outside.
Amen to that. All right, so Austin, from your instructional standpoint, where do you want to see progress for the groups that you're working with? Like, where's an area of growth that you want your students to really focus in on?
I definitely want to see, Stephanie hit on this just a minute ago, but the biggest thing I want to see is physical fitness. Being acclimated to that heat. It doesn't really matter what you do. Like the pool thing, it's like the best thing that you can do. Spend time in the pool. You're outside, you're staying cool, and then you're getting a full body workout when you're swimming and everything, and you're having fun doing it too. So why not jump in the pool, hang out outside, do stuff that you enjoy, but also make sure that you're doing stuff outside, not being on the couch all summer. I know the air conditioning is so enticing, especially here in Florida, where it's already 100 degrees. Like it's going to be 100 degrees tomorrow in Florida, and it's too muggy. It's too muggy and too hot already. Yes. Spend time outside. Make sure that you're ready to go for band camp, because when you pass out on the first day of band camp, that's a lot of paperwork for the directors. We don't want to do that. We want to make sure that you're happy, you're healthy, you're having a good time, and it's just the best thing to do. Just get outside, make sure you're really acclimated, and you're getting getting down, and you're ready to go come end of July, beginning of August. That's my biggest thing.
So, Austin, that's a perfect transition because I want to talk about the things that sneak up on us during summer. So, from a band director's perspective, we're constantly being thrown curveballs, right, of different sorts. So, Mario, for you right now, it's building a completely new band room built for you. So can you talk about like those type of curveballs that you've been experiencing in regards to the additional layers of stuff that you have to do? What is that looking like?
Well, I'm a little scared because when they tear up any construction that tear things up, they'll find stuff. So we're a little bit scared there was a leak on the roof. The building's about 1955. I think there's 9 high schools in the district, and we're the oldest one, and we're the ones being the newest one. So I'm scared that we're going to be in portables because they found something there was a water damage in the 90s, so there was pipes and things, and that's the only thing. I'm excited to see what the remodel is going to be with the new Winger cabinets and flat screen TVs and all kinds of things, but I'm just worried. My motto is I'll believe it when I see it. That's my motto. So
right, yeah, no, and I, as an instructor, I'm always relying on the band director to like have that plan A, plan B. So just the fact that you have to like really list out like a variety of different options and different outcomes that you don't have any control over, like
no.
That type of pressure is nuts to absolutely nuts to me.
Yeah, we do have a plan B all ready to go in case something happens. But the principal says, "Oh, we'll be moving in on August 2nd." So he was very confident about that. I'm like, "Okay, cool, Mr. Ortega, you're awesome. We'll see what happens."
All right, yeah. And so just since we have this perfect crosscut of directors and instructors here, we interact with parents very differently than we do our students. So during the summer, like what do you want support-wise from parents? What's something that's worth its weight in gold to you during those summer months that the parents can provide?
Is it for me? Oh, go ahead.
Anyone can.
Well, I have a different perspective because teaching college, I don't have to deal with parents a lot.
Oh, completely.
Yeah, but I have to deal with maybe a couple like incoming freshmen. So like those parents will come in and speak with us, or they'll call like the band office, and they always ask, what can I do to help out? For the next year, do you have prop builders for college band? Do you need band boosters? Do you need us to sell things? Is it the same thing? Different programs have different needs, especially at the collegiate university level. So just if you're one of those parents who are bringing in a freshman, just ask the director if they have that need. Making sure that your student knows the band schedule and the calendar. Making sure the move-in schedule and the move-in calendar is super important. As an incoming parent of a college freshman. Making sure that, if you want to stay involved, that you have like all the performance dates or the football schedule or the college or university band like exhibitions that we do like in the fall, so you can make plans around those events. We love as college band directors to have family members of the band students stay active, stay involved, even if it's just waving a pom-pom in the air or shaker in the air or noise maker when we're taking the field for pregame and halftime. So parents, know those calendars, talk to your students, and still stick around because we want you around those college events.
Parents are the glue of any successful band group. That's always will be. And at the high school level, Mario, what does that look like?
Well, it also have a curveball because they just moved out of the booster closet and moved out of the band room, right? So we have our trailer crew who's in charge of 5 trailers with golf carts, where they're checking, make sure that the tires are good to go, the brakes are good to go, insured. Then we have a uniform crew. I already did a field show reveal on Facebook, so we're doing Beethoven's Secret. So now we're getting Javits. We're getting the guard fitted on uniform. We have a uniform team making the field show, just the field show embellishments of the uniform. we have a fireworks booth crew who's doing the fireworks. We're going to be traveling to Disneyland this year and Carnegie Hall in 2026. So we have a fundraising crew that's doing fundraising for that aspect. So they're busy. They know that during the June and July before band camp and color guard camp, that's their turn to shine, because I'll volunteer with fireworks booths just to lead by example, but that we need to rest because they know that at band and color guard camp, our instructors and staff and that's our turn to shine with the students. So it's a big cycle, and it's beautiful because the prop teams are making props right now, and it's a pretty cool thing. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. They're workforce. Absolutely. So Austin and Stephanie, what is your interaction with the students' parents? What does that look like for your programs?
For me, I always tell the parents that the number one thing they can do for me is get out of the car. So you gotta drive your kid to practice. I need you to get out of the car and come in. There's always something to do. We have a large band. I have right at 100 in the color guard. We have about 300 wins. We have a uniform team that is fantastic. They're fitting band kids and guard kids. And you don't have to sew for that. Like, you can pin, that type of thing. We, in Texas for homecoming, have mums, which, like I said, I wasn't a Texan. But our mum shop is a fundraiser for the band. We make over $10,000 on that for homecoming, and it's like cutting ribbons and things like that. I mean, it's a huge fundraiser for us. But I need like flags organized and inventory, things that maybe I can't get to. If you're a photographer, the kids love to have candid shots. I'll let you come in a rehearsal. You know, our own little media team. We've been lucky to have some professional photographers in the past that had kids in the band. Those kids want those photos for social media, and it's great recruitment for the band and for the color guard when those kids are sharing. But I want them to come in because I want to know who they are. I want to have a relationship with the parent just like I have a relationship with the student, because hopefully I'm gonna have your student for 4 years, and you're trusting me with your most prized possession of your child, and I want to know who you are, but I also want you to know who I am. Situations when they come up, good, bad, whatever, I want us to have an open line of communication and that to be a really comfortable relationship.
That's awesome. Well said. And so for Austin, what does that relationship look like to you from your students' parents to you?
Yeah, so I mean, I hit a lot of the same lines with Stephanie. It's just like, get out of the car. I'm actually probably going to steal that now. Thank you for that. Definitely get out of the car and come just support. What do you get? Like, I had this group of parents down here for a couple of years. I don't know if that group of parents will ever top, or any other group of parents will top them. They were the absolute best. They made sure that like, we were a younger staff. They made sure that we were taken care of. They made sure their kids were taken care of. And just my biggest thing is building that relationship with the parents, so that it's the same. We're going along the same line still. Like, you're trusting me and my staff with your most prized possession, which is your child and their education. Like, it's not my job just to teach them to be good at band. It's also my job to teach them to be better people. So they're trusting me with that as well, and building that relationship with the parents so that they can trust me and be like, oh, who's this 20 something year old kid coming in and teaching my 15, 16-year-old? Like, do I really want a 20 something? And then you get that relationship going. You're like, oh yeah, I do. And just making sure that relationship is built is the biggest thing for me. And then just being there and supporting your kids, like showing up to like even dress rehearsals and other like regular rehearsals every so often. They would be there all the time, but and then they're doing props and uniforms and all that stuff. And it's just seeing the support from those parents is always so encouraging, because you're giving so much, the parents are giving so much. And it's just such a special relationship, because you're not just getting in with you're not just like being with the kids. It becomes a family affair at that point, especially with those groups that have, like, those families that have siblings within the band and everything.
Right.
Those band parents can be there for 8-10 years, depending on the gaps of the kid, depending on the age gaps of the kids and everything.
Right.
But just making sure the parents are involved is the biggest thing. Show up, and then like football games, competitions. It's always fun to hear and see the parents stand up, like, oh, now entering the field, insert high school here, and then you just see this whole group of parents stand up. It's just the coolest thing.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I think is just from an instructional standpoint which is so valuable, is you can learn things not only from your student, but also from the parent as well too. You can take away so much from how that individual parents, their own lived and walked experiences, right? Like, I think that's one of the best parts about being an instructor, is you're given an immense educational opportunity to see perspective and see growth from many different lenses, right? And I think that's the value in that instructorship. And I mean, it's worth its weight in gold to me. All right. And so,
can I just say one more thing for our amazing parents?
Go.
Just from the logistical side, make sure you know the calendars and stuff, but also make sure, awesome band parents, that you know when fees are due, how much they are. That's very important. I mean, when fundraisers happen, it costs to do this thing, unfortunately, and we want to make sure that every child gets to participate, every family gets to participate. So knowing that fee schedule is super important. If you have any issues, reach out to the director. Maybe something could be arranged for you if you're having like some troubles. You communicate those. We are very open and very empathetic to our band families in that regard, and we want to make sure that every student gets to participate on the trips and the competitions. They get the uniform and the equipment that they need, and they get to travel the way that they deserve to travel. But band parents, make sure you know and understand that information, that you read the handbook, the performance handbook, with the students, so you know what their responsibilities are, so you can help hold them accountable on your end when it's time to go rehearse, or what the level of expectation is from the program. So those two things I just wanted to talk about, and keep on being awesome band parents.
Yep, well said. And I think just being able to listen to this episode, this will set students, parents, and instructors just a little bit ahead of the curve in regards to being able to take the fire hydrant of stuff that's coming their way, right? So thank you guys for your guys' perspective. So to our listeners, stick around for the rest of our episode. We'll be right back with our What Are We Doing, and our Gush and Goes up next.
It's Jeremy, and here are your announcements coming from the box. Don't miss all of our bonus content, including On a Water Break in Rhinestones with your host Lexi Duda, exploring the world of the Twirlers. Don't miss Parades and Drum Majors at Step Off with your host Jack Goudreau, and get lost in translation with your host Cynthia Bernard, exploring all the words that confuse all of us in the marching arts all across the world. And go Behind the Lens with marching arts photographers all across the country with your host, Chris Marr. Plenty more bonus content from On a Water Break, so listen anywhere you get your podcasts. If you want to be on a Water Break as a guest, or you know somebody that would make a great guest for On a Water Break, email us at onawaterbreakpodcast@gmail.com.
All right, and we are back this week with an amazing rehearsal that we've had so far. Great conversations, but now it's time to transition to my favorite part of the show. What are we doing?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
All right, Trevor, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Band directors, guard instructors, percussion instructors, what are we doing? We just had this big, band year showcasing the talents of our students. And instead of hitting the pause button, we jump right back into it, and we go to teach more summer clinics, and we go off to teach more drum corps. And I'm doing it myself this summer for the third season with the Mandarins. What are we doing? We should be taking time off, but we love this thing so much that we're jumping right back into taking on more kids and teaching with drum corps and other people's band camps. Make sure that we find that balance while still doing what we love to do on a day-to-day basis. I'm sure everyone on the podcast has that experience where it's kind of hard to put it down sometime. I would imagine that.
Yes, love the Mandarins.
Yeah.
They're easy group to work for.
All right, so Stephanie, what are we doing?
What are we doing at these drum corps shows? I want to challenge you guys to stand up for every corps. We had this episode, a couple of weeks back about how expensive it is for these members to get there, and some of them have done some remarkable things to get those corps fees paid, selling plasma and yard sales and bake sales and all the things. And every kid deserves a standing ovation. It does not matter if they go on at 11:45 in the morning or if they're the last corps on at 10 o'clock at night. Get up out of your seat and clap for every one of these kids. So what are we doing? We're giving standing ovations.
Put your hands together for the kiddos. Absolutely.
That's right.
They deserve it.
Yes, they do.
Stephanie, we got to get there early. We got to get there early to film everybody.
Yes.
Everybody matters.
They sure do.
You should be there for the Pledge of Allegiance at the opening show.
You should. Yes. They should still be popping the popcorn when you're walking in.
That's right.
Yes.
All right, Austin, what are we doing? You could probably use some water right now in the Southeast, considering how hot it is. So what are you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback off of Stephanie and Trevor. What are we doing not getting into the shows at Drum Corps early? And for my East Coast people, we want to see those all age groups. We want to see those open class groups, and we want to see every single group so that they all can get the standing ovation. I've worked for a couple open class drum corps in the past couple of years, between the Louisiana Stars and the Battalion, and walking into stadiums that wasn't a home show, seeing the crowds, I was like, we can show up a little bit more for these guys. They deserve an audience too. Like, don't get me wrong, we love the Mandarins, we love the Blue Devils, we love the Blue Coats, we love the Cavaliers, but give some love to these open class groups. And especially the all age coming in now. Right, there's a lot of love to give for these groups, and they're working just as hard, if not even a little bit harder, to put on a great show.
Yep. So I'm gonna take the mic from this. So from a high school instructor perspective, what are we doing? So I'm approaching this more from a self-reflective standpoint. What am I doing this summer to make my training program stronger for students and to lift the level of execution and focus on execution with students out there? Because I feel right now, I really want to help set a standard for young leaders, young drum majors in the Northern California region to have that foundation of execution and have that deep understanding of using execution as a guiding light for all things in performance, not only in the performance area, but in life, and being able to really define that more in my pedagogy. That's one of the things that I've really been focusing in on this summer. How can I bring that light there and really stress that more? All right, Mario, let's hear it. What are you doing?
For a high school band director, besides paperwork, my daughter just graduated from UNR, University of Nevada, Reno, so she's moving back in. Woo. My son is a fisherman with Delta Saints bass team, so I'm doing a lot of family stuff right now. Because when I have my calendar, what am I doing is family calendar for me as a band director, and I have to have hearts means date nights. Married 24 years. And then we know that October, there's only 2 hearts. That's not a lot. September, there's like 4 or 5. So I'm just balancing myself. But what am I doing now is prepping, I just had a conversation with my band booster president. We had a reflection time. What can I do better for them? Had a reflection time with my leadership group. What can I do better for my students? And then we reflect, how can the staff be better too? So this is a good reflection time to building blocks for a stronger season every single time. Yeah. And just listening to a lot of repertoire. My winter percussion groups, or my staff is already listening to winter percussion. I said, let's get through fall season first. Don't get too excited. But that's what I'm doing, and encouraging students to really practice over the summer break. Go over to the Mandarins, go over to Blue Devils, BDB, the drum corps shows, and really go to the parking lots and watch the lot shows and see how they rehearse, how they're organized, how they get out of the trailers to the bus. And that's what I learned when I saw the Blue Devils, just observing them coming out, and also Mandarins, just from point A to point B, and taking those elements to my band program.
So much to be taken from those professional groups, just in every aspect of their performance. From the moment that bus hits the lot, their game face is on, and that's how you got to play if you want to be competitive, right? Absolutely.
And I'm sorry, I just
Great job,
I listened to. Oh, I just talked to those groups because that's closest to me.
Right.
But my battery instructor is with the Blue Knights, so there's other drum corps out there too. So.
Absolutely. All right, so we have had some 48
equipment down. Go.
All right, so let's stop complaining now and let's go to our gush and goes. All right, Trevor, you're up first to bat, man.
I just want to gush and go about this episode that we're wrapping up right now with my good friends. It's been exciting. We have to talk about so much. We got to hear a bunch of different opinions, learn, meet new friends, and it was just a pleasure working on this episode, working on this podcast. So I just want to gush and go on this particular episode, and I hope everyone checks it out. And man, it was really encouraging just to hear other people talk about their year and how they're wrapping up everything, and it's just great. So I'm just gushing over here.
Yep. Likewise. All right, Stephanie, what's your gush and go for this week?
So same as Trevor, I love this episode, but I have to gush and go. We talk a lot about my kids that are marching. My daughter's back at Blue Devils for year 3. She has 2 more to go. My son's back at Cavaliers. This is year 2 for him, year 3 marching. 1 more to go after this. But for the first time as a teacher, I have 2 kids that I started that are marching this summer. So I have Olivia that's marching the Troopers, and then I have Caden that's marching Academy. And so it's really cool to see kids that I started here at this program in Texas that are marching just beyond my biological kids, that I now have 2 more out there that I can just really root on this season.
That's awesome. That's so cool to see that, right? That tradition, that impact, right?
Yeah, right. For sure.
Austin, what's your gush and go for this week?
Oh, goodness. I am gushing to go. First of all, shout out to Olivia, the Troopers alumni right here. Trevor is too. Got some Troopers alumni on the pod.
Yeah.
Mario also graduated from UNR, so.
Oh, yes. You did.
Small world, yeah. My gush and go is that you know what? I gotta do this right after we get off this podcast. But I gotta go write some drill for the Troopers Legacy Corps. So awesome. I gotta go take care of that.
That's awesome.
And I'm excited to do that. And then I've got what else do I gotta do? Helping a close friend of mine revive a band program. He just got a gig down in Lancaster County, South Carolina. He's gonna go help, or he just got a gig. I'm gonna go help him bring that program back to what it was. I think it's Andrew Jackson High School. Me and him are gonna kind of start that thing from scratch and really hope to grow it into a perennial group in the upstate South Carolina region. I'm really looking forward to this fall in the next couple of years, trying to really bring that group to that next level and push the boundaries of what I know that they can do.
Absolutely, man. That's awesome. All right. And for me, my gush and go this week is going to be about the Scottish drum major season is here. So I'm getting ready to go compete at Pleasanton in a few months, and weekly practice for me has already begun. So I'm looking to bring some crazy new moves to the Scottish circuit this year, trying to get some behind the back throws in. Finally, I really want to see how the judges will react to that. But let's see what happens. You got to be pushing the bill always, right? So I'm getting my new uniform fitted as well too. So I'm really excited to go to my tailor next week to make sure that everything is as clean as possible. I'm switching out all my directional buttons. I went on a tangent about directional buttons for inspection a while ago in one of my first episodes. But anyway, I'm getting clear face buttons so that the judges don't ding if the alignment's off. So getting that all taken care of, getting everything cleaned up. And, it's a fun thing to keep going during the summer. So that's my gush and go. All right, Mario, what's your gush and go for the week?
My gush and go is family time, paperwork, and hit the gym for me to get stronger for my students, because at band camp, I run with them. I work out with them because that's what I do. Just lead by example. The gush and go for me right now is get out of the car from Stephanie. I'm going to steal that and have like a flyer, get out of the car, and then
we can make shirts.
Prop team come out in rehearsals. I love that. So yes. I'm going to steal that a lot. So yeah.
I think you should get one of those yard signs and just put it in the ground right at the carpool drop off line. Be like, get out the car. Yeah. The band room's that way with an arrow.
And then a QR code to donate. There you go. Done.
There you go. I love it.
If you sit in the car, you have to donate.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. We're actually putting the QR codes on our t-shirts.
Let's go.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much for getting on this today and for being willing to talk about your own programs, your own ambitions over the summer. I mean, it's been a really great panel to talk about. It's so valuable for our listeners. So before we go, Mario, where can our listeners find you? Do you have a Facebook? Do you have an Instagram? Where can they find you?
Mario H. Sebastian on Facebook. I don't do a lot of Instagram, but if you research blueandgoldregiment.com, just Google it, Blue and Gold Regiment, you'll find my program.
And so, Stephanie, Trevor, Austin, Mario, truly, it's been a pleasure. So for our listeners, one more thing, don't forget that we have our YouTube channel now that has many of our interviews coming out as full-on videos. So go check that out and subscribe so you don't miss out. And before we close out our podcast, go check out the listening app and go subscribe to us, write us a review, and share us with friends. Follow us on social media at On a Water Break, and we'll see you next rehearsal on a water break. Peace out.
The On a Water Break podcast was produced by Jeremy Williams and Christine Reed. The intro and outro music was produced by Josh Lyda. To learn more, visit lydamusic.com. And until next time, thanks for tuning in.